Yeah, so we're delighted to be here in Killarkin stud, just outside Dunboyne, the home, of course, of Shamrock Thoroughbreds and the home of Stephen Thorne Racing. Stephen, thanks for inviting us down.
Thanks a million, Barry. Look at you, thrilled to have obviously got started here. I took out the licence there a couple of weeks ago. Horses have settled in really well. Obviously a massive thank you to Jack Davison, who's obviously kindly allowed us to share the yard here with him. Great facilities here, and looking forward to what's ahead.
And I suppose the syndicate itself, look, let's start with Shamrock Thoroughbreds, and delighted from a Champ.ie perspective. Thanks very much for coming on board for the season, and we look forward to sharing updates on a weekly basis. But could you ever have imagined, I suppose, the heights that Shamrock Thoroughbreds has reached so far?
Yeah, look at I always said it from day one when I started syndicating racehorses 7 or 8 years ago. It was initially to be surrounded by better horses on a day-to-day basis. I love the training and the preparing of these racehorses. So we went out to buy and try and hand pick some better quality horses that can run on the flat and for the better festival days. So our shareholders got on board with that programme. Obviously initially started out with a couple of cheaper horses initially, but we then had the support and the backing of numerous people to allow us to go out, buy a better quality type of horse. And we've had some great days. I think we've had up to 70 or 80 winners, group winners, listed winners, Premier Handicap winners. Our shareholders have been taken to the Breeders' Cup, Saudi, Dubai, Qatar. So our shareholders have travelled all over the world, France and the UK as well. So look, we've obviously a lot of work to do now. I've taken out the licence myself, and looking forward to the challenge ahead. It's a new chapter in my life, and very much looking forward to it. I've taken on Stephen Mooney, who's going to be my assistant and help to get things started. We're starting out with a small team, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Absolutely. We're going to see, of course, some of the stable stars and some of the old servants. Harry's Bar, 15-time winner. He's been some servant for the yard. Tell us about the Breeders' Cup, though. I'm very interested. Obviously, Tiger Bell taken, what did you say to me, 50 plus syndicate members over to America. That must have been some experience.
Yeah, it was a great story. She was bought off a great breeze up man in Conmarnan, who we developed a great relationship with. We bought only two horses off last year. Both were black type fillies. It was an incredible story. We picked up the filly for 75,000, and she took the shareholders on a dream run. She won first time out in Cork. And we tried to offer her the London sale, and we didn't get a bid for her, so we took her home. We'd no choice but to run her, and she won the Marwell listed in Nice. Took the lads to France, then to Longchamp, then for the Group 3, and then all of a sudden then we're heading to the Breeders' Cup. So it was a great journey. Obviously the filly ran with credit out there. Obviously a tough place to win. Big Evs was a great winner on the day, but just a fabulous occasion to have so many people out there to enjoy a weekend like that. Very, very special.
A question I want to ask you, obviously from being on the ground, you're talking to owners, you've welcomed many members to Shamrock Thoroughbreds. What do people on the ground tell you is the best part of owning a racehorse and being a member of Shamrock Thoroughbreds?
Yeah, I suppose from day one, I always sell it as a fun and enjoyment experience, and I pride myself in terms of communication. We've got a great system set up through our various WhatsApp groups for our horses, and the lads are always kept well up to date. Weekly updates, video updates, etc. Plans for the horses, pre-race, post-race, comments from the jockeys. So it's well set up. It's very slick. The lads love how it's done, and I think just not alone the race day experience, the actual training. If the lads can see the journey from day one, the training and the preparation, because there will be ups and downs, there will be bumps in the road, as we well know with race horses. They're delicate animals, so things don't always go smoothly, and I think it's important to get that across. Race day experience itself is obviously very special. If a shareholder can be there on the day when his horse wins, sure, there's no feeling like it really. But whether they're sitting at home watching it, with their family, or sitting up on the high stool having a pint, at the bar at home if they can't make it to the races, you can't beat that feeling. So that's what we're trying to sell. That's what we're trying to get across. And we've grown there from one horse to almost 15 horses in training, over 100 members involved with us. So it's a word of mouth thing now. people, see us as one of the higher profile syndicates in Ireland, and obviously we're looking to continue to grow it alongside the training arm of Thorne Racing now. So looking forward to enhancing both brands and getting more people involved with us.
And so Stephen, we're here with my dream, a 4-year-old filly. She's stakes play, she's well bred.
Yeah, nice filly. Obviously one of my first clients that sent me this filly. She was stakes placed back in April, lost her form through the summer. Looking to try and get a bit of form back into her. So she was 5th the first night in the fillies handicap at Dundalk. She ran really well in the conditions race there on Sunday at the Curragh. So we're looking at a couple of listed options for her. We may tie with the idea of maybe trying to get a bit of confidence back into her in a handicap. So we have a couple of options coming up for her there, and I'm hoping that this filly will maybe improve the next run or two, and she'll be a filly to look forward to next season.
Stephen, this is an exciting 4-year-old, second in the Premier Handicap, of course, at the Curragh at the weekend, and he's an exciting recruited just for O'Brien's.
Yeah, we bought him there in July at the Horse and Training Sale. Came highly recommended. Very rare to find a horse like this at a HIT sale that we can afford anymore, but we give 85 grand for him, and I think he was worth every penny of it. He's after being touched off there, obviously in the Sovereign Path Champions Weekend, the first run, came down the outside with a wet sail, and the Ronan tracked his every move and just got us on the line. And then obviously the last day in the Curragh on the weekend there, coming to pick up the winner and just kind of levelled out. Maybe the mile on the slow ground really kind of maybe stretched his stamina a little bit. But I think he's a horse to really look forward to next year. I think he's a real sort of Irish Lincoln / English Lincoln candidate. He'll be entered for both races, and we'll see how things are shaping up in the spring. I do feel he does have the attributes for an English Lincoln. He's rated 92. The winner of the English Lincoln was rated 92 this year. And I think the straight mile in Doncaster on probably likely to be better ground than the Curragh. But obviously we've a long way to go. He's going to have a winter now on his back, and we'll get him back there now moving after Christmas, and we'll see how he's shaping up. But yeah, he's going to be a flag bearer for me and my team next year, please God.
You sound excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Pinching myself now to have a horse such as this now for my first year. First full year next year, and really excited by him. Big, good looking horse, and he's been very sound, and a pleasure to be around. Loves his routine. So yeah, very much looking forward to him next year.
Yeah, Stephen here with High Time. You won rarely out of the frame, and an 8-year-old turning 9. He's been really consistent. Yeah,
I love this horse. He's been some soldier for me, and Shamrock Thoroughbreds, the Syndicate. He was 3rd on debut there for us the first night we ran him, and lovely 5th then in Suddle there, a little unlucky in running the first night we had runners. So he's been a star for me. Cheap horse at the HIT sales from the Dermotwell stable a couple of years ago. He's won around Leopardstown twice and several races in Dundalk. He won the weekend I got engaged. He won the weekend I got married. So I'm nearly married to the horse at this stage. So he's been a dream horse to have, and looking forward to him now for the winter months. He's moving like a 2-year-old, this horse. So, and massive sized horse as well. And hopefully we'll have a bit of crack with him now for the winter.
Where would we like to see him next?
He's running on Friday in the 0 to 100 mile handicap. 7 or a mile is fine for him, and yeah, as I said, he's back to a winning mark now. Lost his form through the summer months there. He's just on a stiff mark after a good all-weather season, but he's back down to a good mark now, and we're looking forward to him now for the remainder of the all-weather season.
Stephen, never shout never. Good second at the Curragh course at the weekend. He's been some servant. Doesn't win all that often, but he's always banged there.
Yeah, look, he's been a horse that was bought to replace some of my good sprinters, Harry's Bar and Laugh a Minute, but he hasn't lived up to expectations quite yet. Played several times this year, threatened to win one, but just hasn't really done it for us. But
he's always hitting the frame, isn't he?
Yeah, look, it was a cracking run there on the weekend. He was up the stand side rail there. Jamie Powell gave him a lovely ride. Finished a good second to one of Fozzie Stack's, who we actually bought the horse off. So we had to give Fozzie Stack a bit of a slagging on Sunday there for beating us. But look at a horse that some of these sprinters, they take a little bit of time, and they can mature with age. 5 and 6 year olds. So he's only 4. He was placed in 2 big premiers last year as a 3-year-old, getting the allowances. So look at, even though he hasn't won one this year, he looks like a horse that will be well handicapped for next season. if we can get a bit of confidence back into him. He's a horse that has talent, and like I said, hopefully he will deliver what he's promised to do on the track for us. But yeah, hopefully he'll be a horse for next season for us as well.
So brilliant, Steve. We're here with the Wizard of Oz, third at Red Car on Tuesday as we record. A new recruit from Charles O'Brien. Looks exciting.
Yeah, obviously we haven't got him that long. Won his maiden very well in Downroyal, and we obviously wanted to get a little bit more experience into him. The first night in Dundalk, had a good blow with Shane Foley underneath him, and he was just ready to start. So we were lacking turf options, so we headed over to Redcar the other day, stayed on very strongly, galloped to the line very well. So I think he's a horse to look forward to next season. I think he'll probably want a mile plus, and he'll handle both, good and slowish ground. So we'll have plenty of options. A massive sized horse, so I think he's only get better, next year, and he'll be an exciting horse there for the Syndicate, rolling forward.
Yeah, Stephen, Harry's Bar, 15-time winner. What a servant he's been. He's earned over 200k in prize money.
Yeah, he's been some horse, him. Probably 4 or 5 years ago we picked him up. You could write a book on him now at this stage. He won a Lister race 6 days after we bought him. Took the lads to Dubai and Saudi. He's been won a stack of races on the all-weather, real all-weather horse. But yeah, and a highly rated all-weather horse. Just held his form very consistent the last 3 or 4 years there. Got as high as 115. So he slipped back down now. He's no spring chicken. Again, another older horse, but still moving like a 2-year-old, as you can see there this morning.
Fresh this morning, isn't it?
Yeah, fresh and well. Now we give him a few days off after his good run last week. He was a lovely second there to one of Johnny Murtagh's. So 5 or 6 he'll be campaigned there through the winter months, and hopefully we get a pot or two out of him.
He ran into one last week. It looked like he did, anyway.
Yeah, and he could be a horse there for either maybe Lingfield or Newcastle, and he's a horse that's obviously, he's been a great servant, and he's one that will be retired more than likely at the end of the all-weather campaign. But it'd be nice to sign him off there on a winning note or two through the winter months, and he'll be a horse hopefully to get me going as well.
Yeah, so Stephen, that's volatile course analyst, and just looking, I suppose he's down to looks a workable mark now.
Yeah, he's been another frustrating horse. I mean, he's been placed on numerous occasions, threatened to win one, but has yet to deliver. But he's a horse that we've had there a little over 12 months now. So we've had to encourage the shareholders to try and stick with him, and that they have. So he'll be there for the winter months over the Dundalk campaign period. He obviously was touched off there, beating a couple of heads last year, a couple of seconds. So he's down again now in the ratings, so he'll be competing in those lower grade races, the 0 to 70s, and that. Hopefully that'll give him a bit of confidence. 6 or 7, probably more of a 6 furlong horse. A dual Premier Handicap winner and a listed winner on his back in the day, So he's well handicapped for the winter months, and hopefully he'll get 1 or 2 on the board for us.
Stephen, we can see Perfect Judgment coming towards us here. 3-year-old, like the race 3-year-old, and it was a really good run at Dundalk last time as well.
Yeah, again, he's probably more of a 7 furlong horse, but we tried to stretch him out there the last day just to give us a few more options for the winter. Ronan had no choice but to drop the horse in, and probably a little bit far out of his ground, but stayed on really well, finished 5th. And he's a horse I'm looking forward to now. He's tuned up well there since his win in Leopardstown there back in August, and we've deliberately kept him fresh now for the winter months. He's a 100 grand breeze up horse last year off Tallyho Stud, and yeah, look, he's won his couple of races. He thrived there on the all-weather this year, early in the year. He was a good winner of a conditions race over 6, but definitely won 7 now. A good lengthy horse and a nice bit of scope to him. So yeah, young horse I'm looking forward to now for the winter months. Yeah,
so Stephen, this is a Dream Today, and he's a 10-time winner, and he's won over 300,000 in prize money. Good servant.
Yeah, again, another great soldier. He's been a flag bearer for a number of years there for the Syndicate, and again, another one that I'm looking forward to for the winter months. He's a real all-weather specialist. Just he kind of struggles during the turf season a little bit, but seems to come good then, in the latter half of the year when the all-weather starts back. So we ran him there last week, probably in need of a run, and looking forward to him. A couple of sprints coming up for him there. He's won stack of race there on the all-weather in Laytown, and again, just another nice soldier there to have for the winter months. He's not getting any younger, but
dropping down the handicap.
Yeah, exactly, and he's not getting any younger, but some of these older sprinters there, if you mind them and keep them right, and the horse is still moving well, hopefully we'll knock a bit of crack out of him there for the winter months.
Absolutely.
Stephen, we're just in off the gallop and a couple more horses to touch upon. Obviously, Laugh a Minute. He's been some serving, nearly all, well, close to 400k in prize money for the Shamrock Thoroughbreds Syndicate. He's taken members everywhere.
Yeah, another, great campaigner. I think he's familiar with a lot of people who follow flat racing. One of those sprinters that rocks up there on those big days, the Curragh and Galway, etc. Champions Weekend, and he's picked up a lot of prize money. He wins every year. Is always best fresh, so he's the horse that we like to target early doors at the Curragh, the first Curragh meeting. We always give him a prep run around Dundalk there in February, and he's down to a great mark now. So obviously another horse that's not getting any younger, but there's still plenty of life left in the horse, and he was a good third on the weekend there in the last sprint meeting at the Curragh, and he's a horse now to put away and look forward to again next spring off a very good handicap rating, hopefully next spring.
Another good servant, an 8-time winner this time, Shoot to Kill, 14 times placed from 61 runs.
Yeah, again, another horse we bought in February as a fun horse there to give syndicate members some days out, and he was placed on numerous occasions around Leopardstown and Dundalk, and took the lads to Lingfield there early in the year. So another one that's threatened to win one, hasn't won for us yet, but I think he's well handicapped now heading into the all-weather campaign.
Yeah, I want to talk about a couple of new recruits to the yard. Let's start with Banshee Bell. She said 2 runs for yourself. She cost a nice bit, 2-year-old daughter of Codai Glory.
Yeah, her debut run was very good over 6, and we dropped her back to 5 the other day, and she was just sort of outpaced early on and didn't seem to enjoy things that much. So I think she's a filly now that'll probably have another run, and she'll be competitive then in those nursery handicaps and 3-year-old only handicaps there through the winter months, and a filly obviously that's part of the Breeze Up investment package this year, so she will be traded on at some stage as well.
Yeah, another one to mention as well. A 6-year-old this time that came from Amanda Perrott's in the UK. Has only had 1 run for yourself. Safe You Will.
Yeah, she was a good third on debut a couple of weeks ago. The night we had our first batch of runners, and she ran very well in the fillies handicap. A filly that likes to be held up off the pace and come with 1 run, so I think the Dundalk Straight will suit her. We're running on Friday night there in a mile handicap, so not to 100, so she's off a nice light weight. So fingers crossed. Obviously she was favoured the night she wouldn't go into the gates for us in Dundalk, and we've had to iron a few things out with her, and we've spoke to the trainer in the UK, so we've all pulled together on this one. My assistant Stephen Mooney owns half the filly, so it's important that this one goes in very soon.
Well, best of luck with that. Independent expert, what can you tell us about?
Yeah, a filly that we bought the other day at the sales in Goffs off Andrew Slattery, came highly recommended. She was just touched off in the Irish Cambridgeshire this year, finished 3rd, beating a nose and a nose. So another filly, a fresh filly hopefully for next season. She'll be given the winter off and she'll be campaigned hopefully at the Irish Lincolnshire.
And tell us about Artful Approach.
Another horse that we bought the other day at the sales, fresh horse. Obviously Jack Davison, we're based here, sharing the yard here with Jack. Know the horse well, and Jack highly recommended him. Syndicate that he was sort of washing down, and just came at the right opportunity. So again, another horse that won in Galway, and our shareholders love having runners down there. So he's a horse now that we'll put away as well. Handles good ground and slow ground, and has the form around Galway, so he's a very obvious horse, and I'm sure he'll go down well with our shareholders.
Stephen, you purchased a couple of yearlings. What can you tell us about a potential yearling syndicate?
Yeah, we picked up a couple of yearlings. Obviously, these are being bought for the future and next season. Some precocious 2-year-old types, I hope, and fillies by our dad, Codai Glory, who have served us well. We bought a couple of the Breeze Ups last year, Rush Queen, Tiger Bell, both black type fillies. So those 2 sires, Ardad and Codai, have served us well, and these 2 fillies are 2 precocious types for next year. Another filly by Inza Court, we bought off Talio Stud, another very good breeding camp to buy a horse from, and another filly by Churchill. So we're putting a bit of a package together, and hopefully we'll have that live in a couple of days time, and looking forward to those next year.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Stephen, thanks very much for having us down to the yard. Brilliant to be partnering Champ.ie with Shamrock Thoroughbreds and Stephen Thorne Racing for the year ahead. Didn't mean to break your hand there. Stephen, I suppose for people looking to get involved in the syndicate for I suppose the upcoming 12 months, tell them how they can do it.
Yeah, look, obviously we're on social media. Our website, shamrockthoroughbreds.com. We're obviously developing a website now for the training arm, Stephen Thorne Racing. So, keep an eye out on social media there for upcoming shares that are available. And we've got plenty of new recruits there, yearlings and older horses in the mix. So, lots to look forward to next season. Obviously coming towards the end of the turf campaign now, and obviously gearing up now for the all-weather campaign, which we're looking forward to do with plenty of our all-weather performers and some of our nicer turf horses being put asleep for the winter, and hopefully we'll have them revved up and ready to go for next March.
Yeah, no, this is the Champ.ie Shamrock Thoroughbreds winter tour. It is sunny here in Dunboyne, just outside Dunboyne in County Meath. But Stephen, look, I suppose finally, obviously on the podcast every Thursday, you'll have runners at Dundalk on a Friday. It's a good opportunity to come on, give us an update and the Champ.ie viewers right throughout the season ahead, and we look forward to a little clip every Thursday with you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks a million, Barry. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.